Here's the rule. Use an apostrophe to form the possessive of nouns, of certain pronouns, and of compound expressions.
I possess a couple of questions. What do you mean words are possessive?
Well, to possess something means to own it or have it. Nouns and pronouns can signal ownership, but other words, like verbs, can't.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Look at this sentence.
The cat's smile made Muggs nervous.
Does the cat possess anything?
Sure, the cat has a smile.
Perfect. Just add an apostrophe between the letters T and S, and voila, a possessive.
The cat's, with an apostrophe S, smile made Muggs nervous.
Great. Now, let's talk about the difference between singular and plural possessives. Can you give me two singular nouns?
Flea, dog.
Good. So, to show the possessive,
Add an apostrophe and an S.
So, the fleas, apostrophe S, bite, caused the dog's, apostrophe S, discomfort?
Or, the dog's bite caused the flea's frustration.
Oh, that's great. Now, let's look at plural possessives.
Can't I just add an S to dog and flea to make them plural?
Absolutely. But to make them plural possessives, simply add an apostrophe at the end.
That's easy enough. My dog's S apostrophe flea bites were no worse than the flea's S apostrophe dog bites.
That's great. But watch out for these traps. Your teacher will give you specific guidelines for some of these. First, add S and an apostrophe to singular possessives, even when they end with S.
So, actress should be actresses, apostrophe S, right?
That's right. Now, on the other hand, remember, your goal isn't just to follow the rules, but to help your reader see what you mean. So, if you are talking about the fish called a bass, and you want to describe it, what would you say?
The bass's scales. That sounds terrible. And it looks even worse. 4 S's in a row.
Yeah, which brings up an important point. Being correct won't make it sound or look any better. So, what do?
Couldn't I just rewrite the sentence to avoid the awkward possessive? I'd say, the scales of a bass.
That's exactly right. Be sure to check with your teacher to find out how to cope with other tongue twisters like this. Next, remember that some plurals look singular. Read this sentence.
I met all the childrens on the bus. That sounds ridiculous.
It really does. Children is already plural. You can't make it more plural. Nor would you say this.
I bought a children's S apostrophe book.
Again, children is already plural.
So I'd say, I bought a children's apostrophe S book.
That's right. Now, let's look at how you use apostrophes to make pronouns possessive. Can you think of some pronouns that show possession?
How about these? My, mine, her, hers, his, their.
That's great. These are all personal pronouns, and they clearly do not need an apostrophe. But what about these pronouns?
Nobody, someone. These would need an apostrophe to make them possessives, right?
Yes, they would. Okay, so we've seen how apostrophes can make nouns and pronouns possessive. Let's finish up by considering compound expressions.
Right. That was another question I had about the rule. What do you mean by compound expressions?
Well, here are some examples. This list shows compound words, names of organizations and businesses, and groups with joint ownership. Only the last word in these expressions should be possessive.
So you could talk about the vice principal's office, the fluffy waffle shop's menu, and mom and dad's anniversary?
Great. And your third example reminds me to warn you about one final trap. If mom and dad own things individually, then both words need apostrophes. Here, mom and dad share an anniversary. Can you think of something they own individually?
Sure. I could say I want to borrow mom's, apostrophe S, and dad's, apostrophe S, cars this week.
You've got it. So remember,
use an apostrophe to form the possessive of nouns, of certain pronouns, and of compound expressions.